So hey guys, what's up? So today I'm here with Wes. He's the performance director and co-founder of Muhdo. And Muhdo, it's the company with which I used to get my DNA profile. If you remember, if you follow me, if you saw my stories a few months ago. And we are hanging out today. He's gonna be asking me a few questions about how my experience with my DNA test went. Hi, Wes.
Hi, Yael. Thank you very much for the introduction and welcome to your following. Yeah, today I just kind of want to talk you through kind of your results, what you've changed, and then the benefits from it, and hopefully educate your following in that information so they can understand it a little bit better.
Cool, cool. So where do we want to start?
So the first question I'd like to ask you is why did you choose to do a Muhdo DNA profile?
Okay, cool. So, well, actually, this DNA thing has been in the back of my head for a while there because my sister, she works in genetics. And back in Venezuela, she used to work in a lab that were doing these kind of tests. So I wanted to get it done, but it never happened. Then I moved, she moved, whatever. And then Muhdo contacted me. Like they saw my profile and they were like, listen, you being a fitness professional, a coach, maybe this is something that would interest you. And I was like, yes. But the first thing I did was talk to my sister because, I wanted to know if you guys were legit. So I went to Google, I did my research, I talked to her, I showed her your website and she's like, yeah, these people look super legit, go for it. And that's how it happened.
Awesome. So what about from a personal perspective? What interested you from personally?
Personally, well, there is me. I've always been very weight conscious. So before it was more about the weight than the health. But the thing is, I've been in fitness and dance since I was a teenager, right? So being in the dance world, especially fitness, not so much. But if you're a dancer, you're expected to look a certain way, okay? And my aunts, there is obesity in my family. There is like people, it's not the healthiest looking, let's say. So that's something I always wondered, am I just doomed? Is this what it is? I mean, or do I have to diet myself to death and work out intensively just to not be or be obese when I grow up? So I started learning and studying a little bit a couple of years ago, and I started realizing that maybe I could have some impact on my genes. So the way my family is built doesn't necessarily mean that's what I'm heading to, that I could change this. So when you guys approached me, it's like, yes, of course, because I do want to know if it's really what I thought when I was younger, that, okay, whatever, this is either you diet and exercise like crazy, or this is what's going to happen. So yeah, that was my personal motivation to actually get this test done. And also now, because I'm more health aware, I did want to know what my genes were going to tell me about future diseases, or how I was, prone to develop this or that disease when I was older.
That's awesome. And we kind of say it's your blueprint, your blueprint to your body, to understand your body better, and then you can make informed decisions and choices of kind of like what to eat, what to exercise, what benefits you and where your deficiencies are. So no, it's great news to hear that. So from actually doing the test, can you explain really briefly kind of and summarize as best you can just some of your results that you think would be really impactful?
Well, the first thing I was blown away by was the yo-yo response. So I already said weight has been always something I would think about and struggle with. And my first thought every time was, how is it possible that me being so active, always training and dancing, why do I gain weight like this? So I would go into the diet where you won't eat carbs, let's say. I would lose all the weight, and then I would be like, okay, I did it, but I would gain the weight super fast. And I was I would tell myself, why, Jelitza, why? But then I understood, according to the DNA test, I have an increased risk of weight regain, okay, after a caloric deficit. So what does that mean to me? is that this going into a diet where I reduce my calorie intake and then going back to normal, it's not going to work. For some people, it does. Some people can have a calorie deficit and just, you know, gradually increase their calorie intake and be cool. But for me, it's not going to work. And it's not something I need to be sad about. It's just the way I am. So knowing that, you know, it changes my whole mindset around it. That's something super interesting. Then the sugar response. I have a sweet tooth. And my test, I'm reading my notes because I want to say it properly. The test says I have a high level of fat, have risk of fat gain from consuming too much sugar. And some people would say, well, yeah, duh. But no, not really, because I know people that can eat sugar every day and they don't struggle with weight. Okay. So me, you know, I now know that I have to be a little bit more careful. So what I did based on these results is I'm still enjoying my sweet treat here and there, but I'm making them myself. And that's something cool because I learned how to cook healthy desserts, mostly based on this test. So I'm not using refined sugars. And well, of course, I'm not having desserts like a crazy woman now. But yeah, that's something that it blown my mind. Also, selenium and B6 deficiency. So especially B6, because I became a vegetarian last year. I'm flexible with it, but I eat mostly plant-based. And it is said, it has been studied that people that go that have a vegetarian diet have a high risk of B complex deficiency. So if I'm a vegetarian and now my genetic result says, dude, your genes, you're prone to be B6 deficient. For me, that means, girl, make sure you're getting enough B6. So I'm supplementing now, which I wasn't doing before. And selenium also, I had no clue, but yes, I have a high risk of selenium deficiency. So now I eat 6 Brazilian nuts every day, and I love them. So yeah, it's very interesting, and I could go for hours. But those are the things that were like, wow, like, you know, especially the yo-yo one, it blew my mind.
Brilliant. As you say, you know, if your followers want to find out more, they can just ask you questions and they can find out more about it, because obviously we cover areas like sleep, stress,
Yes.
immunity, gut health. So there's some really, really interesting areas there. If you're an athlete, you've got injury risk. So there's lots of things in there that, you know, would be very, very interesting. So you've kind of explained some of the changes you've made from your results. How have you found the benefits now? So what have you benefited from making these changes?
Well, listen, I'm surely this is a long-term thing, but I do feel healthier because, you know, I'm eating better, I'm more conscious, and it's more about the way you think about what you're ingesting or about what you're doing, you know. Once you start training, let's say my results say my body, my muscles, they're gifted to high interval training. Okay. So before, when I would do high interval, it was like, oh my God, do I really need to do this? But now I do it. And it's like, yeah, because this is what my body is going to benefit the most from. It's not that I don't do anything else. I do lots of things, but it's just the way you do things now. It's a little bit more enjoyable. Even eating the Brazilian nuts, I love them. But every time I eat one of those, I know, you know, I'm doing a very good service to my body because of the selenium deficiency. Let's say, what else? I sleep better now. I sleep more. It's overall, this is only gonna make you good. You know what I mean? It's gonna serve you well to apply all these changes. You're gonna feel how you're healthy overall, you know, and you're more alert. You're more rested. Well, before I would be a little bit bloated. It has stopped because of the nutrition changes I've made. So it's really amazing. It really helps.
That's great to hear that you're having those benefits, and you know they really resonate with people because they are simple things, like you're saying there about bloating links to gut health. You know, you've got then vitamin mineral deficiencies that can link to like illnesses and colds and flus and stuff. You're saying like you sleeping better, so that would be linked to nutrition and probably exercising correctly. So that's really great to hear. From an exercise perspective then, because I know you do a lot of exercise and you teach a lot of people, kind of, can you say you've made any changes from when you got your results, or basically are you now happy that what you were doing before was the right thing for you?
Well, I'm doing a little bit more of high interval training when I train for myself. The thing is, I teach. So when I teach, I'm also getting a little bit of a training there. But let's say before, I would try to run every day, not a long distance, but at least 30 to 40 minutes. Okay. So after I got my results, I still run because I enjoy it. But now I'm gonna go for a high interval training, at least 10 minutes, not every day. I'm going to alternate, but I now know that my muscles are going to respond super well to this type of training. So what I did was alternate. I'm alternating now. Sometimes I go for a long run. Sometimes I actually go 20 minutes, interval training, boom, 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 come back home. That's it, that's done. Before, what would happen, and I think it happens to a lot of people, that you think you cannot get much done in 20 minutes. But let's say for me, now I know I can, that it's actually beneficial for my muscles, for the way I'm built, and for my goals. Because ultimately my goal, it's not necessarily endurance. As I say, I do run and jog because I enjoy it. It's like therapy. But my goal is actually to build muscle and, to have a nice tone. So high interval training, it's what's going to get me there. And I know that thanks to my DNA test.
Awesome. And you kind of alluded to at the start that obviously your sister's does a lot in genetics. I'm just wondering, kind of after you've done this test, has it now had an effect on kind of your family life or friends or people you train and work with?
Well, yeah, I mean, I try to tell people that we are all so different the way we're built internally, right? So what works for me, it's not going to work for you, and it's not going to work for her. So ideally, they should. I mean, I encourage them to go, and if they really want to know more, they should take this test and try to. And I'll help them, build a training program and a nutrition plan according to what their results say, because every single human being is so different. And as I said before, what works really well for me maybe doesn't work for you. Maybe you can eat more sugar than I can, and for you, long distance runs, it's what's going to do the trick. You know what I mean? So that's how it has changed. Now I try to, when my clients approach me and tell me, listen, I want to lose weight, what should I do? I'm like, okay, wait, we should get to know you better. You know what I mean? So my approach has changed. My sister, when she saw the results, she was amazed. She was like, oh my God, this is super complete. This is super well done. And it's well done for her, who is a scientist, and it's super well done for me. I'm not a scientist, and it's super clear. So I think that's something amazing about the app and the results, the way they're explained. It's going to help us tailor our day-to-day activities in order to reach our goals.
Definitely. And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head that everyone's different, and people don't look at things and realize that actually we externally look different. We have different hair colors, eye color, height, weight, but internally we're exactly the same, in the sense of we have a different internal system. Our body absorbs things at a different rate. We have different metabolisms, all those different things. So we need to look at our internal, because they actually affect our external. So when people get kind of skin disorders, it's normally an internal problem rather than it is, let's put cream on it and hopefully that stops the problem. You don't get to the root cause of it. So it was great that you kind of said that.
Yes, exactly. People
Cool.
need to understand that it comes from the inside. Like whatever you do, that cream or that pill, it's just covering the symptoms. It's not curing your whatever disease or whatever problem you have.
Absolutely. And the last one is just kind of, can you give your following just some general tips based around health and fitness? So maybe around sleep or hydration or nutrition, nothing related to DNA profiling, just literally some key tips to help them go forward in the right direction.
Yes, of course. Listen, key tips for anyone. First, nutrition-wise, try to stay away from processed foods as much as you can. Eat your greens, eat your fruits, eat the colors, eat what nature gives us. Exercise-wise, move. Move. according to your goal. But if you only want to be healthy, just move every day, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, walk the dog, dance, clean. Cleaning is a great workout, I promise. Sleep-wise, please sleep. It's so important, and people don't even realize how everything is going to change in your life once you get your proper sleep. I'd say 7 hours. Some people need more, some people need less, but try to aim for 7 to 8 hours. Water, always have a little bit of water with you. Aim for 8 glasses, you know, have one as soon as you get up, one before going to bed, and then the other 6 in between. And, you know, be grateful, smile, enjoy life, have time to talk on the phone with your family and friends, have time to just, you know, enjoy nature, enjoy your view. You know, you have to get out of the I have no time to do anything wagon, you know, because we tend to live like this, especially in the West, in the Western civilizations. We are on the clock. I have to be in a certain place at a certain time. I have no time. Just breathe. Those would be my tips for a better and healthier and happier life.
That's awesome, and that's some great information there. I do want to ask you one more question, and it's more of a female question, which may, you know, reach out to your following of females. Is, have you found from doing a DNA profile that things like your skin, your hair, your nails are any better from obviously changing your vitamin mineral intake and your nutrition?
Well, I did feel, because I used to have a little bit of a rush here, and it went away. And I don't use creams. I mean, girls, when I take off my makeup, I use coconut oil. So I'm not using creams. There is nothing. So I did notice a little rush there that disappeared. And then my nails are a little bit longer. My hair has always been super long, so I'm not going to give you credit for that. But yeah, I noticed a little improvement in my skin, in my face, and my nails are longer now. So yeah.
Awesome stuff. I mean, we found is, and I have kind of some skin kind of issues as well now and again. So I get a little bit of psoriasis, and I find if I supplement calcium, and I find that really, really helps me clear it up. So if anyone has that sort of thing, then that would be my kind of suggestion, is look at supplementing calcium and see what happens from that. Because obviously some people don't drink enough milk or don't eat enough cheese and stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking about like your nails, because quite a few of the girls that I've spoken to have said, yeah, we've been supplementing calcium, or I've now improved my diet, or I've added vitamins and minerals, and my nails now are growing really, really quickly. My hair's got stronger. My skin's clearer and softer. So yeah, it's more of a, I mean, I know there's probably some gentlemen out there as well that might enjoy it as well, but it's typically a female question. But yeah, thank you very much, Yao. I had a really great conversation with you here, and hopefully we've educated your following with a little bit more information, and I hope they reach out to you and, you know, ask for a few more questions, because there are masses of results there that we haven't covered. But thank you very much for your time, and thank you for, you know, let me be part of your call today.
It is my pleasure, and thank you. And yes, guys, there are so many things I could talk to you about these results. So if you have any questions, just hit me up, write me a little message, and or contact him too. Okay, we have lots of information to share. Just don't be shy. We're only a message away.